Hi everybody, it's Ashley from ShopTo and we're with Dennis, the senior producer for Civilization VI. So I'm just going to ask him to give us a bit more of insight into the game and what you can expect from it. Hi Dennis, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. What can the gamers expect from Civilization VI that's different to Civilization V first of all? We're really
Sure.
to find out what's new.
Well, one of the big things that Ed really focused on in Civilization VI is similar to what John focused on, John Schaefer on Civilization V, which was one unit style. He wanted to take the stacks of units, the stacks of doom, and spread them across the map to make it for a much more interesting tactical gameplay. It wasn't just stack on stack, you weren't just heading towards the city and hitting it. It made the whole game more dynamic. With what he did with Civilization VI is he wanted to do the same thing with the cities, because before the terrain did not mean very much. Everything was built in the cities, wonders, buildings, everything within that single hex. So it didn't necessarily matter where you put your cities, outside of knowing where the resources were, things like that. So now, because you have to spread it out, you have to build your libraries and your universities out on the campus, you have to build your workshops out in the commercial hub, things like that, it makes the game so much more interesting. You have adjacency bonuses, so where you put them matters. So if you put a commercial hub next to a river, it's going to generate more gold, the campus next to a mountain generates more science. Additionally, wonders make up hex too, so they have restrictions as well. So, for example, if you want to build a great library, it has to go next to a campus. Pyramids have to go on the desert, for example. Oracle has to go on a hill. And this makes the game of where you put your cities, the way you look at the map, so much more interesting. You can't just build everything everywhere, though, because you still have to feed your people. You still have to create mines for production. So you have to specialize. Maybe in one city you're going to have your commercial hub and your harbor for commercial interests. And another city, you might have your campus and your holy site because there's a lot of mountains, woods, forests, or jungle. So that'll leave you enough space to feed your people, build mines, etc. It's just a whole new way of looking at the game. So we're very, very excited about that.
Okay, what can you tell us about the dynamics of the game? So obviously you've more introduced the philosophy, so the philosophical side as well as the building side, so it works with both type of game players. Could you tell us a little bit more about the extra features that suit those who want a more political approach to the game?
Sure. We have a whole new tree in the game. We basically split the technology tree in two. In Civilization V, we had social policies, and we had a basic brush at government, but we weren't necessarily satisfied with where it landed. It felt a little bit too static to us. With governments in Civilization VI, it allows players that are builders, culture players, to go deep down a government's tree. If you think of the Senate in Rome, and all the things that they were able to do while the barbarians around them fought on themselves, fought Rome, etc. That's a good parallel to this. Because if you're generating a lot of culture, you're going to be able to go deep down the civics tree. And the civics tree allows you to get more and more advanced governments, allow you to have more and more advanced policies that you can slot in depending on what you want to do in the game. So if situations change, you're getting invaded, you can slot in different policies, stuff that will help you militarily. During peace times, you can put in policies that will help you with your economy, culture generation, etc. So it's a really great way to offset what a science player normally would have in terms of advantages. And in terms of a government player, somebody who's looking at the philosophy of how the political system works, that's a great tie-in because it affects other leaders too. So if you're sharing a government with another leader, that's something that they appreciate. There's other leader agendas that you have to find out because they're going to play a certain way. We didn't necessarily have that in Civ V. We had a way that they played. We had AI leanings, so if you were in your game as Kanamazuma, they invaded everybody. But they didn't really have something that drove them, it's just how they played. But now everybody has a specific historic agenda that ties in with how they were in real life, things that they do specifically. Teddy Roosevelt, for example, likes peace on his continent, unless he's the one that starts it. So if somebody else is coming in and starting wars, it's going to be their enemy. So there's a whole lot more new dynamics in the system that I really like.
Yeah, so would you say it definitely decides on how the game plays depending on the leader that you choose at the start of the game?
Definitely. Yeah, it's not just the leader you choose, but it's the terrain you start on, the leaders that are in the mix with you. We like every game to be completely different. And the terrain especially, Ed wants you to play the world and play the map. So you might have starts that have no mountains at all, so you might have to go a different direction with your whole district approach. There's all different ways that you're going to go.
Okay. So one of the things, what could you say to anybody who's not played Civilization IV, what draws them to the game, to get them into the game and get to know about it and get them really excited about
Sure. At first blush, players are normally intimidated by game like Civilization, or a lot of strategy games. And the magic of what Sid put in the game, which which we try to take from version to version to version, is it's never complicated until the player is ready for it to be complicated. So you start out with very simple decisions. You've got a settler and you've got a warrior. So you found your city. Where do I want to find a warrior? And that's it. You win your turn. Maybe you choose your research. Maybe you run into a barbarian camp after that, so you have to deal with that one problem. It's not complex yet. We don't have to deal with governance yet. There's no religion. So it gradually adds on that sort of complexity as you go through, as we learn to play it. Additionally, we're putting in this absolutely amazing tutorial. It's something that we didn't have this caliber in Civilization V. That will literally handhold a player through that has never touched a turn-based strategy game through how to play Civilization. It's genius. It's really good stuff. So we're hoping to kind of open that up to new players that they want to try it, but they're just not quite sure they're ready for it.
Yeah, definitely sounds great. So have you got anything else you want to share with us on the game? Anything in particular that you want to shout about?
Well, I just got to say, I mean, we had our Catherine de Medici reveal recently, and she is an awesome Civ to play. She's really great for culture victory players. I'm a total builder when I play the game. I have been for many, many versions of Civ. And what's nice is she's a culture-focused player to a degree, because France's abilities double tourism on their wonders. So if you're playing for that tourism victory, that culture victory in the game, it's awesome. But she's also got that ability where she hears everything. So from other people, she's got that benefit of that diplomatic visibility. So you get all the information on everybody, you kind of know what they're doing before they do it. And that combined with the culture, the strong culture victory play, is awesome. So it's like you get previews of people planning on invading you, and that's really beneficial.
Like a bit of gossip and the gossip culture, definitely. Okay, so cool. Thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you. Have you got anything else you want to ask to answer the question? No? Is it? Thank you.
No, it's great.
So
Thank you.
just wanted to get the real basis of it, and then Joy's going to edit it and put some of the gameplay in there so
Sure.
we can sell it and hopefully like it nice to new players as well, like you say. So it's
That's
my
the
first time playing. I quite like it.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm looking forward to like the tutorial I'll be playing the one in that episode as well.
Yeah.
So,
There's a lot more advisor work that's still going to be coming into the game over the next way until we release. So
yeah.
you saw some of them popping up from time to time. They're not all there yet.
Yeah, I've got the impression.
But
Did you want to ask about that? Because
Yeah.
it looks like it's work in progress.
Yeah. The tutorial work we did, though, we made a whole new system for UI interactions to the point where we can tell you exactly what to click, what UI, and it won't let you do anything else. So for a brand new player that looks at it and they just see the UI, it's kind of thing where it isolates it down. Now you just do this, and this is how you do it. This is what it means to found a city.
Yeah.
You should try moving up here, and then it's a hex, at least for you to go to the hex. All those basic things that make a walkthrough tutorial really beneficial, we're doing all of that, and it's going to be fabulous.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's got something for everybody. So if you haven't played before, it gives you a nice walkthrough, and if you
Yeah.
have played, you can get straight into it, make it as complicated as you want.
Right, and that's our goal. I mean, obviously, our existing fans are the most important to us overall, so we made the game big. We brought almost everything forward from Civilization V, Brave New World, so they're not going to be missing much at all, and we also layered in all the new gameplay. But we don't want to leave the people in the dust either, so that's where we're putting in all this extra work to make sure they understand what they're playing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.